Good morning and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name's Jessie, located in North Louisiana, Zone 8B, and this is my garden journey. Used to be a flower farm, and now we have changed it to a garden journey, and we're learning to appreciate the flowers and not just harvest them. And I gotta say, I like it better. I like it better here. If you're not new, welcome back to the channels, guys. Thank you for hanging in there with me. Thank you for continuing to leave comments, like the video, and just for your encouragement. Thank you for hanging out with me and staying with me through these crazy times. I wanted to get on here this morning because I felt like we need to talk. You and I, we need to talk. And I just woke up this morning, y'all. I've been awake for maybe 30 minutes. So you get dressed, get the camera, get coffee, and I'm sitting out here in front of my front pathway. So right up to the house, you can see it. You can see my Shasta daisies. Those were $3. They're blooming. I've got to do a guided tour soon because there's a lot of plants. And then there's Millie. Hello, Millie. Millie loves the camera, y'all. My discount Dalmatian. Yes. No Dalmatian in her. She's a stray, but she's spotted, so I call her the discount Dalmatian for fun. Y'all. You know, it's really been on my mind a lot lately. And, you know, they say, if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. And I feel like I have that happen a lot. Do you feel like you have that happen constantly in your life? Because I feel like that has just been my life the past 3 years, has been one giant making God laugh with every plan that I come up with. And I come up with a lot of plans. Well, I've done so many different things through these years. Different ideas, different things I was going to do. At one point, I had a quilting business. At one point, we had dairy goats and chickens, and I had goat milk soaps that I was selling. I had a bridal shop business where I was selling previously loved dresses at a much cheaper rate so that people could afford them. And I've fallen on my face on all of those, including the flower farm. I have worked for my parents' business, Bill's Appliance, and I thought I'm going to work for my parents and then take over their business, you know, eventually, and that's what I was going to do. I was going to be an appliance repair business owner in Ruston and continue the legacy that my grandfather started, and then my dad, and then it was going to be me. That didn't happen. Dropped out of college because I was going to own that business. I didn't need a business degree if I was going to own a business. Gosh, I'm such an idiot. And then I was going to work for my current employer forever. I was going to retire there. I'd worked my way up as a receptionist to payroll to assistant controller, and I was okay with retiring there. I loved the people I worked with. I loved the work I did. I felt empowered. I decided to start a flower farm, and for a minute I thought I was going to make a living having the flower farm and be able to quit work and just have YouTube and the flower farm, and it was gonna be great. Nope. And that's fine. I'm good with it. And then, you know, things went crazy and I realized I had to get a new job, and that it was time to get a new job. And then I thought I was going with this one job, and I planned. And then the next thing I know, God brings something back from the past. And it's like, here's the lifeboat. And I was like, I don't know if I want to get in the lifeboat. I want to do this nice new, you know, luxury thing that could really like make my life so much better eventually. And the more that we thought on it, the more that God said, this is the lifeboat, Jessie. You're on a roof. It's flooding. I've sent you a lifeboat to get on. and you're waiting on me to show up in person. That's not going to happen. Here's the boat. I am the boat. Get on the boat. So we're getting on the boat. It's a little scary, but I'm excited. And it just makes me think back to the garden. I, as a planner, all that rambling to say it brings me back to the garden. I had a plan drawn out for this garden, how this yard was going to look. And I have completely thrown that away because this garden looks nothing like I planned it. And I knew I wanted to go more cottage style, but formal. Casey really wanted more formal, but it's gone more cottage style than anything. And it's beautiful. Oh, it is gorgeous. And Millie, come back. Good girl. It's gone way more cottage style. And there's, there's like a set of plants here and there, but it's nothing like I planned. It's sporadic. And you can see behind me, there's just a random one Veronica right there. There's Russian sage, and then a weird salvia that seeded itself that I threw there because I wasn't sure how tall it would get, and then Shasta daisies. It's just a combination of everything, and I kind of feel like that's how life is. Life is a combination of so many unexpected things, a combination of, ooh, I like this, I'm adding it to my life, and I don't really want this, but I need this. I need this mulch. I don't really want the fertilizer. The fertilizer tastes bad, but I need it. I need it in order to function. That is a beautiful yellow bird. Oh my gosh. That was pretty. And I feel like that's the garden. The garden relates to life in so many ways, in that you think you've got this plan, and then you realize you've got to add some bad things back into the garden that you didn't think that you really wanted in there, because it helps with the structure. It helps with making sure your plants are watered, that they're growing and they're thriving. You've got to take the medicine. But there's also beauty in there. And there's nothing like walking out here. Y'all, I walk out my front porch and I just smile. I smile. I used to not smile while I walked off that front porch because the house was so ugly. The yard was so bare and there was nothing to look at besides these three azalea bushes right here that were hideous. And now I walk out here and I just grin ear to ear. I've got a wind chime that's so whimsical and kind of matches my style, and I have to hit it every time I walk by it. And I just smile and I love it. I love it. So we've got big plans. With this job change that I'm going through, it's going to allow me also to focus more on this garden. For those of you who don't know, I paid off a ton of debt. My husband and I paid off a ton of debt last year. It took us 2 years to pay off over $200,000 worth of debt. I'll link the video. We actually went to Dave Ramsey, if you know who that is, to his YouTube, his studio, and we did our debt-free scream on the stage, and you can watch it. So I'll link that down below if you'd like to watch our debt-free scream. It's at the 1 hour, 4 minute mark. And we did that in December. And now I am all about speed of cash. So are you going to see big, extravagant beds like you see other garden channels do? No. No. You're going to see a hot mess person steadily just trying to buy plants as I can to create the vision that I kind of have in my head. My husband actually came home with a plant and you'll see a video of it soon. And I was like, you know, that's a climbing thing, right? And we'll have to have structure for that to climb on. Yeah. You know that cost like a couple $100, right? To get the thing, the arbor. It's an arbor. I didn't think about that. I was like, yeah. So, surprise! We'll be putting in an arbor in the garden. And I never thought I would be capable of doing things like garden answer as far as her rooms that she has created. You know, you see all these gardens on TikTok and YouTube where they have these rooms, and I never understood that at first. Yes, it was beautiful, but I didn't understand how do you plan that? How do you see that in your head? And when we went to where we put this plant and we're all with the arbor to go and started measuring, Casey and I both were like, oh my God, this could be a room. I can see it. I can see a winding path. I can see a beautiful patio area right there where we're able to just kind of sit and enjoy our morning coffee. I can see this yard transforming and having different rooms. Possibly the backyard, which is just open, could be so many different rooms and pathways. And would it take years to do? Yes, it will take years. Will it take a lot of work? Yes. Will it take a lot of weeding? Oh my goodness, yes. But we're going to work slowly towards that. And I've really learned to finally just get my butt out here at least once a week and just pull some weeds. I don't get to all the beds I've got right now when I pull weeds, but I just go to the worst one the next time and start it and then work my way back. And the weeds are manageable. I mean, sometimes they get about that tall, but I'm able to just yank it out and use a hoe. It's not that bad. I've learned that mulch, it's going to cost me a lot of money in the long run, mulching the beds, but you know, as the plants mature, as they get bigger, I'll need less mulch. A lot of these things I've realized, like with the juniper tree that I can see in front of me, you know, it started off so small, and now year 3, it's bushing out, y'all. It's bushing out, it's getting tall, and I'm enjoying the transformation of these plants. You know, with flower forming, you don't get to see it really mature and grow and fill out the space, really. You get to see it, you know, get big, bloom, you cut it, it's done. Or in the case of zinnias, they succumb to disease, they die. You don't have to worry about it next year. You're gonna plant more, it's fine. But with perennials and shrubs and trees, you're planting it and then you're watching it really grow and mature and fill in that space and just become more beautiful. This Shasta daisy behind me, I bought it, has a $3 dying plant, and I mean, it was just gross. It had like, what are you eating? Don't stare at me like that. What are you eating? Ma'am. It sounds woodsy. I hope it's not part of an animal. Oh. Uh-oh. I don't think it is. We have deer hunters that sometimes just dispose of things, and then Millie finds it, and it's like, you're not bringing that inside. Not bringing that inside. Anyway, sorry, squirrel moment. Meaning I got distracted. But the daisy, it was just $3 and it was tiny and it was dying. Like the leaves, some of the bottom leaves had turned like black, melted grossness. And I planted it, and last year it gave me like 1 or 2 flowers, wasn't a big deal. And this year, I mean, it's gone boom, and it's shooting off a ton of flowers. And this is only year 2. And you know what they say about perennials? The first year they sleep, the second year they creep, and the third year they leap. So I'm so excited. I'm like, I can't wait till next year to see this just explode even more. It's just, you can kind of see the black knight butterfly bush behind me as well. It's blooming and it's gotten big, and I'm like, ooh, I can't wait to see you next year when you finally leap. If this is creep, you're gonna be huge. And I love it. Casey and I, we walk the garden almost every night, and we're like, oh, we're just such old people. We walk the garden, we're like, ooh, would you look at there? Would you look at there? You know, that is that. And you know what? We should get more of those. And I just feel the call. I feel the call. Can you hear it? No, not the truck that just passed by. Can you hear the nursery calling me? Because it's calling my name. I can hear it, and I'm having to resist. Because we have to budget, and we have to buy a little at a time. And I'm fine with that. The garden is good for the soul. I will say that. The flower farm became a business. It became work. Whereas this garden has become a place that I don't feel like I'm working. I get to come out and enjoy and walk around and sweat during the summer. But just really sit out here and enjoy. We will just sit out here and look at the flowers. And I love it. All of that to say that you're going to get hopefully a lot more content this year than, you know, the previous years when life was falling apart. And I'm looking forward to being back and being back with you. And I just appreciate you, and that if you've got something planned out, don't let it bring you down when it doesn't work out. Because 9 times out of 10, I've found out that when my plan fails, it's because God's got something better in store for me. I've gone through so many things where I was bummed when it didn't work out, only for Him to provide something better. And, you know, it sucks at the time. You cry a little bit. I'm a crier. I cry. And I just keep faith that it's going to work out better, and it always does. So just hang in there. It's going to be better. It's going to be great. And I just really appreciate you. Thank you so much for hanging out with me this morning and listening to my crazy ramblings about the garden and about life. I'm not sure if any of that made sense, but you know what? I enjoyed talking to you and hanging out with you this morning. So I'm going to go in and edit a video. I've also got to dig up some plants and relocate them. No idea where I'm going to put them. That's a good idea. And I will see you soon in another video. Bye.